Hello, hello, everyone. Caught me with a piece of ice in my mouth. Sorry. Welcome to Dear Dana. Always keeping it real. You won't catch me being fake in here. I'm either cutting myself on mute. Let me make sure I'm not doing that. Nope. Have my hair looking crazy, got ice in my mouth. You just never know. But I'm happy that you are here. Again, welcome to Dear Dana. Tonight will be a lighter night than it was the other night. But I thought the other night was very necessary. But again, you never know what you'll get. But I'm very happy to see vintage optimism here. Yes, and all the butterflies. Jenny M., Shelly Marie, I see you're driving. So yes, please be careful. The world's greatest entertainer. You're new to me, I think. Unless it's someone with a new name. Fields of Grace. Hello, happy you're here too, and Jenny M. So happy to see all your lovely faces. We're the Butterfly Crew. So yes, going to be a lighter night. We are going to discuss things like interpreting your dreams, your intuitive self, healing, and things such as that. Well, I'm so happy you're here. That's great. Thank you so much for coming here, world's greatest entertainer. Very pleased to see new faces. Small channel, turtling along, trying to spread our wings out and about. Spread the word. And please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get better at saying that. I forget. I say it easily when I go to other people's channels. Forget about it on my channel. So, be that as it may, let me drop the intro and we'll get on with the show. Here we go. Good. So, yes, I did my... Oh, thank you. It's been a little while since I've been on Adam. Our time schedules haven't been jiving, and he's had a bit of a panel lately. So, yeah, because I also teach. So, I teach online to students kind of all over the world. So, times and time zones don't seem to jive lately. Thank you. Thank you for coming over here. I decided that we would touch back on interpreting dreams and intuitive stuff and spiritual things and healing and such as that tonight. Hopefully more people will gather in the room so we could figure out more about ourselves. You know, over here it's part learning, part psychology, part spiritual, part social commentary. You know, I kind of like to mix it up. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. You know, my background's as a psychotherapist. I have a backstory. World's greatest entertainer probably doesn't know, had a near-death experience, which affects a lot of what I do as well. But I'm not going to reiterate all of that tonight because I'm sure some people are tired of hearing it. Hello, Miriam, not paid by anyone. So, be that as it may, and sometimes we just get goofy in here and get sidetracked and go left and right and center. You just never know, and that's the truth. Before I go on, oh yeah, I'll let you talk about your dream tonight, but I did want to drop a little. I saw on Emily D. Baker a quick blip, and you may have already seen it. The court allowed Britney Spears to appoint her own attorney. Yeah, I'm happy about that. And also, she is throwing before the court, she wants to charge her father with, now I have a brain glitch, conservator abuse. So we'll see where that goes in court. So little Miss Brit is making some strides. on her own well being. She's getting to advocate for herself. So at least that's good news. So I wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, yay, Brittany! She needs some human rights. And I feel like what happens with Brittany will make a difference in some regular folks. Because people that are not famous, this is going on with people that have money that are not famous, or have homes or money put back, etc., that cannot speak for themselves, that are not famous. So let's see how it affects other people that are getting taken advantage of too. I would like to see it set some precedents, actually. So just wanted to drop that because I heard it from Emily D., the YouTube's favorite attorney, in my opinion. So moving forward to tonight's topic, I wanted to throw it out there and make it light and give people in the chat and viewing, and if you're watching and you're not here in the chat, you're missing out, because I'm going to let people ask things. I might not know everything. Hello, Selena, but I know a lot. I'm going to let people ask things, and I'm probably going to get brave enough to do a couple of my own readings, because I can. I don't like to call them readings. I don't even particularly like the word psychic. But, because of my own childhood experiences, I can tap in. So I might do a couple for a couple of people, a couple of one question things without, any extraordinary assistance. I'll have that extraordinary assistance. Anyway, let's move further. We all have intuition. And I know I've told all of you, up until the age of 5 years old, every one of us are born with it. A highly intuitive self that is untainted by the world. Kids up until age 5, because they're just natural in the world, can cue in on everything around them. They're naturally empathic. They're very sensitive to everything. They can pick up on people very easily. They can be tricked into things, but if they sense things about people normally, they typically can tell you who's a bad guy or who not to trust. They might even be able to pick up on things that are going to happen in the future. But what happens is, once they pass the age of 5, the world seeps in. They start learning at school. The rules start having to line up in front of them. And they get indoctrinated by the world. Whoa! I'm at 249. Wow, cool. Judy's like, someone subscribed, so I hit 250. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm slowly going there. They get indoctrinated by the world, and they start sort of losing their abilities. Some keep them. Hello, Natasha Reiser. Some keep them. I don't know if it's Reiser or Razor. Now, some kids keep them. I'll tell you why some kids keep them. Let me cough. Some kids keep them because maybe they're in a living situation that's intense and they instinctually need them for survival. That's why some kids keep them. They need them for that instinct for survival, sort of like animals do. That's why some kids might keep their abilities, whatever those abilities might be. Some kids might be more empathic. Some kids might be more, pick things more, how would I say it? Your abilities, you can get psychic imprints, whether it be visually, auditorially, telepathically, um, just by empathically, by feelings, in a various and sundry different ways. Some people have a multitude of them. But we all tend to be born with an empath, and it can just vary, right? Some kids might keep them because their parents notice it, respect it, and nurture it, or just allow it to be and don't allow it to be squashed out. Some kids, it might get strengthened because they've had a lot of loss, and that part of their brain is wired to just pick up on things. Maybe they're more of a medium, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent, I ended up with effects of both. And part of it has probably a lot to do with the fact I had a near death experience when I was 12. So it just really varies. Why do I not do it as a life thing? I cherry pick how I help people. I became a psychotherapist a lot because I had the abilities. I live in the South. I love God. I have a relationship with God. I had a near death experience. I didn't want to be judged. You can go on and on and on. I cherry pick how I use the gift. Plus, it can be very draining. And when I would use it more frequently, the more specific I was, the more some people, not all people, the more people wanted. The more specific, the more some people wanted. And they did not want to live their lives without constantly asking what was next. That's not healthy. And it could be very draining. And I did not want to be known for that. I genuinely want to help people. I want to give them the tools to live their life in a joyful, healthy, fully developed manner, if that makes sense. I don't want people having to come back to me. I didn't even want to be a therapist where people needed me for a lifetime. Does that make sense? I mean, you hear of psychologists or psychotherapists, and the person sees them for years or a decade. And I'm not putting people down. Maybe some people need that because they've been through such life-altering things. Not everyone needs that. Oh, thank you, Steve M. Hey, yeah, you have to look after your own health first. And like some people don't know, my special needs handicapped child I lost almost 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years in September. And I adore him, and I had my hands full, and I have my daughter. I have a lot of balls in the air. And you do have to take care of yourself. And my motto is do no harm, be a good human, and do the next right thing. You know, your intentions have to be pure. Do you understand what I'm saying? People need to learn to grow and make decisions for themselves, not to be overly dependent on anybody for the decisions in their life or the next step. It's not healthy. So anyway, I cherry pick. And sometimes things just come up. And if things come up, I'll be like, hey, I hate to bother you, but this just came up and I think I need to tell you. And things will come up random. Random. I can be in the shower and something will come up random. And I need to tell the person, yes, the world's greatest entertainer. There are some people that call them, I hate that word, that call themselves that, and they will take people for a ride. And there have been gypsies that take people for a ride, try to say, leave me this piece of jewelry or give me $2,000, or they take all their money, or, what have you. There's a bad name to it, bad taste in your mouth. So I'm a psychotherapist first, deeply spiritual person, and I'm very therapeutic with people. I don't like that name. I don't like that word. And I'm not putting anyone down for it. I just I don't feel comfortable with that word. I don't know what to call myself. I choose not to call myself any of it. So, yeah. So when I became a psychotherapist, psychologist, I figured that was the best place to use it. I could help people faster. I could tap in quicker. Get to the source of the problem, the core of the issue. So I could help people more effectively. And that's why I went into that field. And they never had to know. And I didn't have to waste their money. Oh, thank you, Jenny M. Yeah, just dear Dana. Thank you. So, yeah. And I feel like if you are given any gifts, that you should honor it and give grace to it. Yeah, there's been a stigma with it, vintage, for a long time. A long time. And I ended up in a class that I avoided with Dr. William Roll, back when Eden was probably 5 or 6. And I studied with Dr. Raymond Moody as well. And I got tested in a variant different degrees for different things. And I was trying to hide. I did not, the class said staff, and I ended up in this class, and I didn't know didn't know he was going to be testing. I had avoided him for over a decade because they had wanted to test me. And I didn't want anybody to know. I was hiding. I didn't want anybody to know. I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to be taken seriously. I did not want the stigma. I didn't want anyone to know. And ultimately, myself and one other person that was tested came out of the gate as that. And he announced it. And I felt kind of traumatized because it's a new day. But it hasn't been that long ago. I mean, Eden's 19. So you're talking 13 years ago. I did not want to be outed, for lack of better. And I've got a book in there he signed, literally, I can show you, that he wrote. And he said, Dana, you have a lot to teach people. Yes, I was tested. So anyway, long story short, I believe you all have varying degrees of abilities. The difference is you have not taken the time to investigate. Some of you probably have, to investigate what they are, to quiet your minds as a practice. And as much as you get sick of hearing it, meditation is key, prayer is key. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Prayer is asking God questions, or whoever you believe in. Okay? Creator, God. Basically, they're all the same. whether you want to believe it or not. Whoever you call, who you honor, ends up being the same. I hate to surprise you all. It's just a difference in names, in my opinion, in my experience. Yes, we all have intuition, and on some degree, we're all empathetic. It's just a varying scale. And it can be higher if you get a prayerfulness, a quietness, a conscious breathing. Ooh, good. Super creative is good. Which means you probably have a high degree of super intuitiveness. But meditation is key because prayer is asking. Prayer is asking of your creator, and meditation is listening. Not just for answers, but from within. And you also have to do a lot of self-work. We're going to the psychology side, in your shadow sign and your light sign. People don't like to look in their shadow sign. But a lot of times your gifts are in your shadow sign. They are. So it's all a yin and yang thing. It's a science and it's a spiritual. People don't want to believe it is a science and it's a spiritual. They're linked together. And that's one of the things I said to Dr. Roll. People want to separate spiritual and science. They want to separate it. But the huge key to it is, the big surprise aha moment is, there's not really a separation. When you really start diving into it, there's not a separation. That's where you really go, whoa, I never really realized. So, I'm done lecturing, and I'm going to drop the link. If anyone, see, I can't talk. Anyone wants to ask me anything. If you want to ask me about a dream, you can come up. Don't be scared. I'm friendly. I'm nice. You don't have to show your face. But here's the thing. Don't get creepy on me or you'll be out of here. I'm just saying that because I had a surprise a few weeks ago. We all know somebody tried to do a striptease on me. Yes, they did. I don't need any Peter in here, or Paul or Mary. But you can ask a question in here or you can come up. Yeah, it was like surprise. I had to get my daughter to, she's 19, she's an adult, technically. I had to get her to blurt out for me. She blurted out because I heard her in here laughing her butt off because she thought my response was funny. She said, out of all people, for somebody to do this to, it had to be you. And then she showed me, and then I was rolling on the floor laughing, so we just left it. We just didn't leave the, who wants to, I don't want to see that. On a good date, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? In a single day, when I was single, I didn't want one of those shots in my DMs. Come on now. That's not romantic. That's not sexy. That's not a turn on for one of those pictures for me. So anyway, I'm dropping the link and we'll move on from there and see where this goes. But those that are new, this is a no hate zone. No hate zone. We are open and loving to each other, respectful. Good human zone. There goes the link. Oh yeah, I see it. So if anyone wants to ask me about a dream, if you're in pain and you want to talk about healing work or you would like some healing, if you want to just look, let's just get this thing rolling. I'm taking a chance here. I don't typically do this, just kind of like lay it all out there and open the forum up. So we're going for it. We're going to see what happens. This is not going to be an all the time, every time thing. Usually I'm on some other kind of topic. So, you said you had a dream, world's greatest entertainer. Yes? Did you want to talk about your dream? She's going, someone call. We can talk about a dream interpretation. So I'm trying to stay away from men because I just noticed all I care about, all you care about, okay, is it all you care about? Let me clarify. Or all they care about? I have a question. I'm trying to stay away from men because I just noticed all I care about is SC. So I'm trying to see what it is I can do to get me out of this situation. All you care about. There could be a couple of things going on here. Hey, let me ask you this. Have you always been this way? I'm thinking not. Is this something new? It just feels like new circumstances or something's happened prior. Not his body. Yeah, if you go just by his body, it gets you in trouble every time. Because once that thrill wears off, you haven't been crazy since an incident in high school. World's greatest entertainer, is there a way you could come up and just, if you don't want to show your face, just block out your face and talk to me? I thought it was you that had the dream. No, I haven't been crazy since an incident in high school. See if you can come up. All you have to do is hit the link. I feel like I need to get a feel for you. I'll put it down again. There's Steve M. Hey, AT2. Hello, Steve. Well, how are you, Mr. Aussie? Oh, you put yourself on mute. I can't hear you. I'm catching flack. Hello, world's greatest.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm doing well and you?
Good. So you said that you feel like you're only interested in sex.
Yes.
Okay. So you said that you haven't been crazy. What did you mean that you haven't been crazy since high school? I was confused by that.
Well, that was a situation that happened with me in high school involving somebody I know. Like
Okay.
this person flashed themselves to me,
Yeah.
and lately all I care about, is sexual stuff. I really never met a guy or actually talked to a guy just to get to know them.
Right.
And let's just say it has been ruining my life because I lost a lot of male friendships because I always think about the sexual nature of it. I never really got to know the person for who they are, and it's just been a mess.
Yeah. But in something in you, I mean, at the core of you, I feel like you're lonely. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yeah, that's true.
And it's almost as though the sexual part is intense, and it's almost like, you know how people will eat to feel their emotions,
Yeah.
and it's almost instinctual that they're just feeding their emotions like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeding your emotions with sex, but you're doing that because if you just do the sex, then you can't get rejected in any way, and you don't have to deal with all the rest of the stuff. It's almost like, how do I put it? It's sort of like an addiction.
But I'm just
Sort of
trying to figure out why is it that I'm so lonely? Because I try to find stuff to do. I try to hang out with friends. I don't get the point of how come I'm so lonely.
because you need that emotional fix, and you haven't been able to get the emotional fix because every time you connect with people in that way, in a friend way, you take it to the next level and it disconnects that friendship. You get what I'm saying?
So I should just try to be friends with people and then see where it goes,
You
or
need to try
just
you need to try to be friends with people and say, I'm not going to be intimate with anybody for X amount of time, period. And
to see.
see
I'm
how long.
also
Go ahead.
oh, I'm saying I was taking a break from social media for a moment just to try to get my head clear to see where I stand because I was talking to a friend earlier. I'm like, girl, I'm doing all this to stay away from men, but I keep getting put in situations where I can't help but think about them.
Right. And have you thought about maybe connecting with a group of people that are dealing with the same thing?
No, I never really thought about that because see, I'm from a small town and I don't know if anybody got groups or something for something
But
like this.
you can find a group online that people are dealing with the same thing.
Hmm.
Like they do have a sex anonymous where people feel
I
like,
never heard it.
yeah, where they feel like they're addicted to sex and they can't seem to get the relationship they want, that they're in the
Oh,
same situation that you're in, and they kind of want to break away from that habit so they can really touch on intimacy. And I mean intimacy from the inside out.
yeah,
Because you, go ahead.
because I'm saying I'm getting older and I don't want to keep dealing with this for the rest of my life. I just need to figure out what it is that I can do. Because say for instance, if I do get in a relationship, I don't want to keep looking at other people and wondering what if when I'm with someone who truly cares about me and I'm happy in that relationship, but I still got that wandering eye.
Do you mind if I pull Jenny up? She's good about this. She's my
That's
friend.
fine.
Okay. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. What do you mean I'm good? I'm good talking about sex? You know I'm not good talking about
No, I'm
sex.
not talking about sex. I'm talking about being able to hear it, being okay hearing it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I mean, I'm just saying that you're right. You don't want to end up years down the road and feeling like, does this person really care for me? For me, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And Dana's right because there's groups for everything. If you look, I couldn't believe it. Like I had a spouse pass away. I just found like all these groups where you can join, and it's like they had spouses that passed away, or like Dana told me about it because she had a child, and there was groups for that. There's groups for everything because we're all suffering with something. We're all going through it.
And even on Facebook,
Yep.
you can find people dealing with the same thing if they feel like they are, because it feels like underlying somewhere deep inside you, and it may be from a past experience, something that triggered that in you. You know what I mean? That is a go to for you, like an
Yes, I do.
addiction. And it's sometimes I've even had people that when they were kids, maybe they were, and I'm not saying you, but maybe they had an inappropriate experience that triggered a sex addiction later because they never coped with the inappropriate experience. So a lot of things can trigger it, but sometimes it can be an emotional response. But you want that internal intimacy because there's going to come a time that sex isn't going to mean so much. The emotional intimacy is going to mean more when you get older and older and older.
Oh,
So your advice then would be basically to like what would be the cope how did we cope with the incident that would have caused it, for example, like mentioned at the beginning that somebody flashed in high school, so that's probably what made that could have been something that started it, for example,
It could have been. I mean,
yeah,
therapy always helps.
yeah,
Therapy is great. And sometimes people, it depends. Like growing up, my family didn't believe in therapy. You
no,
kept it in the house, you didn't talk about it, it didn't leave the family.
no, therapy's good. Therapy's
But
a good thing.
but therapy's great because it's a place to unload and understand yourself.
You got to find the right therapist, though. That's important.
Yeah, but if you don't find, if that's not comfortable, then you can find private groups
yeah.
online on the internet that everything is kept solemn with people going through the same thing. Sex Anonymous, if you don't feel okay going to a therapist, you can find a Sex Anonymous group local to you online somewhere. So you can start beating that addiction so you can get in touch with the other part and just have connections with others based solely on friendship and not pursue it, and them not pursue that of you as well. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? You just have to make strong boundaries for yourself and have to want it bad enough.
Honestly, Google boundaries. I literally had to start from scratch and Google the word boundaries this year. It's true. Learn about boundaries, set your own boundaries, write them down and stick to them. And don't let anybody cross your boundaries for any reason. And it's not easy to do. I'm giving you advice that sounds easy. It's not easy to do. It's an everyday challenge. You'll have to remind yourself every
Yeah,
day. And that's for
because
anybody with anything.
see, I am in therapy.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
You there? I can't hear him. Her. I can't hear World's Greatest. Jenny, are you there?
I'm here.
World's Greatest? Are you there, world's greatest?
I think we lost him. I have a question in the meantime.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to change the topic, but I wanted to ask you, and I know some people in the chat wanted to ask you, because I've asked you before on a personal level how to discern your intuition. So if you can talk about that after, I wanted to know if you could talk about, for me, the big difference was understanding the difference between my heart, my
Yes,
head, and my gut. Oh, they're
understand.
back.
Thank you both for giving me and helping me.
You are a precious, precious soul. I hope you know that you deserve love from the inside out. Once you,
Yes, yeah, I can still hear you. My phone acting.
oh, you're breaking up so bad I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I think he said his phone's acting up.
Okay,
Yes, I'm still.
I'm going to let you down so you can type it because I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I hope World's Greatest goes back down in the chat because I couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, discerning your intuition.
Yes. And I think on the and before and I just want to say to the world's greatest, I think a lot of people can relate more than they understand. So I think that's great that we talked about that.
Um, your intuition. Okay, let
Yes.
me help you with that. You know,
Yeah.
you know your head overthinks. It's a monkey mind. We think about things all the time. Let me clear one thing up. You think you could think about 50 or 100 things at a time? That's a big fat lie. You can't. You can only think of one thing at a time. Um, but you can think of one thing and one thing and one thing and one very quickly. That's why it seems like 500 things. That being said, you can overthink things until you drive yourself crazy. We have all been there. Till we talk ourselves out of things or we confuse ourselves. Our heart, now we feel things and we feel an urge and we feel drawn to do things, our sympathy for people, etc. Or we fall in love. We know that heart feeling, okay? And it draws us to have kindness and empathy for people. And that is a great thing. Our intuition, though, is mainly found in our gut. It's a
And
gut.
that's like below the belly.
Well, it's a gut thing, but it starts in your gut. Let me put it there. It starts in your gut as a gut feeling, a gut instinct. It can be like a divine guidance, if you will. I feel like I connect more with an angelic realm, um, and the creator, the light, etc. In my experience, but you know how? Let me put it this way. You know, if a friend or somebody asks you if you'll do something, and you really want to say no, or your feeling is to say no, and you say yes anyway, and you feel that funny drop in your gut, that knot in your gut after you say yes, and it said, "Ooh, girl, you should have said yes." That is your intuition saying you should not have done that, and it's telling you you need to turn this thing around because it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You said yes when you should have said no. We've all had that sinking weird feeling. It's like somebody all of a sudden canceling their plane ticket, and they hear the plane crashed, and they're all of a sudden glad that they canceled their plane ticket because maybe they were the only survivor because they didn't go on the plane. That is that gut core feeling. Always trust that feeling. Always trust that feeling because your gut, your that area is like a second brain, literally. It's wired almost like a second brain. It will rarely, if ever, lead you astray. Listen to it. We often ignore it.
Yeah.
And we've all said, I should have listened to my gut.
Yes, we all have. Oh my goodness.
So you should listen to that.
That's what I did. I started what I started doing was just listening to every thought I had, going, okay, eventually I'm going to catch on to what's intuition and what's not. And it turned out the majority of what my first thought on everything was intuition. So don't doubt it.
I mean, feel it in your body first.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought, wow, I think I'd already developed those steps without realizing it, but now I really had to discern it's an ongoing battle always.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone saw Busy Blue recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone saw Busy Blue recently when he came on here, well, the last show, when he came on here for about 10 minutes and he was like, no, my body says, okay. My body says, he's learning. Because his mind was saying, his mouth was saying, and he was like, no, my body says.
Yeah.
That's where he was getting
like his gut?
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's so cool. I know he was going through it, but I could see he was doing what he was listening to his intuition.
He was doing the process right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
I was so proud of him and so pleased.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lesson right in front of everybody.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So if people would start doing, hello, Queen Bee. She says, that's why I love to work out, because it's the only time I'm thinking of what I'm doing and not everything else. If everybody would start taking the time and just feel the answer, feel it in your body first.
Yeah.
And then the millisecond you feel it, trust that.
Because once the head gets involved, I get confused.
Yeah.
Very.
And then your life is going to be so much better directed. And you might not always like the answer you're getting. That's okay.
No, I don't ever like the answer.
That is okay.
It's good.
But your life is going to be better directed. You're going to choose friends more wisely. You're going to know what's going on around you, and even around, what's going on with the people around you. And dates, if you're single. Is it a good idea to date this person?
Or you ask Dear Dana.
Or ask Dear Dana. Your gut will tell you, right? Some people have asked me, and some people very close to me have asked me in the recent past. I'm not even talking about you. And I'm like, this and this and this is going to happen. Well, I'm not going to listen to you. And I'm not talking about you.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm like, okay. And then exactly what I said happened.
We'll learn. We have to learn the hard way, Dana.
But again, it doesn't mean I'm always right either. That's another thing people need to learn about psychics, okay? They're still human beings. They're still conduits. Let me make that clear. Conduits. They're not magicians, fairies, conduits. So they're never going to be 100%. Not one of them, me included.
That's right. Amen. We're all going to pick up on different things and different skills too.
Yeah, and different puzzle pieces.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So, and I used to stress myself out because I wanted to get every nuance, because I'm known as an evidential, which means I come up with evidence.
That's because you have the scientific background. You're like, I need to see the facts.
You know what? I never thought about it that way, but you're probably right,
Oh,
actually.
it's true.
But it made me put more stress on myself
Oh, yeah.
to be right for the person. Not because I had to be right, because I needed to give because a lot of times it would be about missing somebody, or I wanted to give them what they needed.
You needed to be able to prove it. It was definitely something that you had to prove. Whereas with intuition, and I think based, like even what Vintage Optimism said, like with intuition, it's becoming a little bit more widely accepted that this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of just saying intuition is all, you don't need to explain it. It just, you just know. And with science, you have to kind of give facts. So it's kind of mixing the two worlds together.
Yeah. And then Zarius is here tonight, sending him extra healing.
Who's here? Who's here?
Zarius.
Hello.
Everybody give him a hello from the UK. It's very late for him. He needs extra healing his way. I don't know if he wants me to tell why, but I sure would like to do some healing work with him. Stevie M, I hate that we couldn't hear you. He said, I had to go through a stage where I said no to everyone for a month just to get to understand the difference. No to everyone.
Are you talking about boundaries, maybe?
Steve M, I don't know what he means.
He might be talking about boundaries.
Are you talking about boundaries or sex? I'm not sure.
Could be.
So anyway, yes. Hello, Dana. Later today, I find out if I can start walking. I believe you will start walking, Zarius.
Ooh.
Sending you extra healing.
Sending love and light.
I've been sending healing work to you today. I want to be kept updated. So, yes. He was able to stand today.
That's beautiful.
I mean, just saying his name, my body starts getting hot.
And I can see you look so happy.
Yeah, I don't mean in a sexual way. I just mean
you look like you look happy.
Yeah, in a like you're gearing up for healing work. My body's getting sweaty.
I see you. You're like, you got your hands moving. I'm like, are we gonna do some deep breathing?
Yeah, I was hoping he would come up so I could actually
come on up.
Real healing work with him.
I don't have a headache for you to heal tonight.
I know. Steve M said, yeah, Queen Bee says you got this. All healers in here.
Up in here.
Send Zarius your healing energy.
Up in here.
Up in here. Up in here. Yeah, Vintage Optimism says she believes you will too. Love and light to you and all. It would be so awesome if this community would grow so big and additional healers would come in here and people that were suffering with things. Oh, can you imagine?
The love and light and the healing.
That would just be incredible to me.
There's power in the collective for sure. With a group like that.
When I was in that class, or when I was with Dr. Roll, I told her, whoa.
Don't worry, I just, everything's fine.
When I was in there with Dr. Roll, and he was doing the testing, and there were many of us in there, and he'd split us off in groups, and we would go in circles to do some of that testing work. Man, the energy in there, let me tell you.
I bet.
Was craze balls.
Craze balls. Cray.
It does. It boosted.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet. That would be incredible.
I know I don't always stay the whole session. I can't read, but it's always good to see you, Dana, and everyone else here too. I adore you, Zinzarius. I hope I always say the name right. I know it's very late in the UK, and I do think about you, and I am sending healing your way. I can still see the picture of your face in my head, by the way, and I will continue. I want the update, and you will be walking. I just feel it in my gut. And I don't say what I don't mean.
No,
Jenny
she
knows.
doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Sometimes I say things people don't even want to hear, so
No.
that's the truth.
Sometimes you're dancing on your head. So
So,
I just remember when you told the story about how like you were like upside down on the couch.
yeah, I do hang upside down on my couch.
Yeah, when I picture you like that.
It gets blood flow to my head. It helps my brain and my back and everything else. My dogs and my daughters think I'm crazy. So anyway, hey, throw me your questions. Does anybody want a one question reading even? Look, I was nervous to do this. I'll throw it out there. No, it is not an odd image, Zinzarius. Give me a break. Hello, Willow, Paranormal Witch. Look, you had to come here and see me. That is not why my head feels hot. Look, when healing energy comes on me, my skin gets hot.
That's awesome.
I'm secretly a cat, maybe. Then I'm allergic to myself.
Are you allergic to cats?
Yeah, and Eden has one.
Oh dear.
So I have to pet him and go wash my hands.
Does Cleo like the cat?
No, it beat her up.
The cat beat the dog up?
Yeah, and she's bigger than the cat. It beat her up too.
Yeah, that happens. My cat went after a German Shepherd the other day. My cat went after a German Shepherd.
Yeah, Cleo's 3 times bigger than the cat. Cat jumped Cleo, pinned her to the floor. Her legs went out like a deer on ice, and she peed and cried, and I had to pick her up.
That's precious.
Being allergic to oneself. Ha ha ha. And there goes Jenny. She went zoop. Okay. We are all pushing for you in here, Zinzarius. Everything in me, even against some naysayers and some do-sayers, because some will say you will, I say you will walk. It will. Oh, you dropped by accident. You went back on. You can come back on, girl. It's going to take a little extra work, but you will walk. But you are strong soul, and your intentions are strong. Okay. Good. You're getting stuff for court tomorrow. Good. Things are slowly going to go your way, Willow, and you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. But you deep down inside know this. You let your emotions get the better of you, which is understandable, but you do. Okay. Do you want back on, Jen, or no? Here's the link. Who would like to come up? If anyone is in pain, come up. Who wants to talk about healing work? We can talk about quantum healing. We can talk about how to gear yourself up to learn quantum healing. If you have a question about a dream, drop it down. I don't know about astrology. That's one thing I don't know about. I don't know about astrology. If you want to know how to gear yourself for your inner see, my battery's winding down. Your intuition, let me know. Who wants
back?
Yeah, you're back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
Quantum healing, let's talk.
Quantum healing.
Yes, what's the difference between that and Reiki?
Okay, Reiki it's very symbolic. It has a lot of symbols that you have to learn. There is a process you have to learn. There are levels. There's, Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3. Um, and I got all of the levels and learn the symbols, and you have to do the symbols in your hand. And it's been around forever, ever and ever and ever. And it's very, how do I put it?
You mean Reiki or quantum healing or both?
No, I'm talking about Reiki first.
Okay.
Um, you have to be taught by a Reiki master.
Yes, I was taught by one, and they did the attunements.
Yeah.
They called it.
Yeah, you have to be given the attunements. You have to be
Yeah.
taught the symbols and all of that stuff. And it's good. And then the symbols can be tricky, and you're supposed to do the symbols, and you're supposed to learn how to do the chi balls, send the chi energy to the person when you're doing the attunements, etc.
I feel like that I haven't learned all of it yet. Maybe that's Reiki 2. I've only done Reiki 1. I didn't learn the symbols.
It gets when you go through the whole thing,
Yeah,
up into becoming a Reiki master, it's wonderful, but it becomes a lot
yeah.
when you really want to send healing to somebody. When I found energy healing and quantum healing, it was more my gig.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because no, it's not a long story. Wait a minute, let me get to Zinzarius real quick. I'm missing something here. Dun 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 dun.
Miriam, you look beautiful, Dana. I digress.
What was that about? I digress.
She's cute.
Did she call me a haint or something?
No, she said you look beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, Gina. Hey, Gina.
Hey, Gina. Zinzarius says, I'll get back into quantum healing in a second. Zinzarius
Bye,
said,
Steve. He left.
oh, bye, Steve. It's nice to meet you. Yeah. I do have a little story about a dream. When I awake, I was working on a game making software basic coding. Okay? Made so even kids could understand, but still complex. I got stuck with an event for 5 days. Okay, let's get back. All day and all night. Tried different things, even help from various places didn't work. Nothing did work. Then on the 4th day, I had a dream I was working on the game and clearly saw every detail. I did some alterations and solved the problem. When I woke, I remembered everything I did and applied it, and it worked perfectly. Now, that is cool. That is called one of those dreams where it works into real life for creation. That's how people create a lot of things that are in our real world, or they'll go to sleep. There goes Jenny again. Where, oh, thank you. Where they try to, she's popping on back up. Where they try to, if you have a problem, you can ask a question and ask for a solution when you're going to sleep, as you're drifting off to sleep. And a lot of times your brain will work on the problem as you're sleeping and come up with a solution, so when you wake up, you have it. That sounds like what Zinzarius had.
Is that like you don't even realize that you have the solution from the work you did while you were sleeping?
Right, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because I probably have done that. Because sometimes when I go to bed, I'll write down what I need an answer to, and then I don't realize that's how I got the answer.
But some people will realize they got it, and that's why I recommend everyone
dream journal.
Have a book beside their bed with a pencil or pen, so when they wake up and they dream something that really affected them, they can jot it down real quick. Because look, I am the world's worst, and it might affect me and an hour or two later, I'll be like, oh my God, it's slipping away and I can't remember.
Yep, exactly.
And it drives me nuts.
I have like binders full of things I wrote down before I forgot because there was no way. And I always think I will remember, but you don't. You don't remember.
I mean, every once in a while, I'll get lucky and
It'll,
can, but
yeah. It'll come and like a couple days later, you'll just think of it.
okay. I want everyone, if you want to know a little bit about quantum healing, you can do it on your pets. You can do it on your plants.
My dog loves it.
Yeah, you can do it on yourself. It's a little harder sometimes. You can do it on your children. Your children love it. It works great on boo-boos. If it is too difficult of an injury, you may not can fix the injury, but it can maybe hold you over till you get to the hospital. But here's the deal, and you can learn more about it online. There are some classes you can take, but it is wonderful. I studied it for a while. I want to go back and study more of it to get a tune up. I have books on it, but you can do the conscious breathing. Let's do a little bit of it. I know I'll drive you crazy, but it never hurts and it's super great. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. And imagine it's coming through the top of your head. I accidentally click something. Hold it. Exhale through your mouth to the count of 4. Imagine that light just pouring in through the top of your head, rolling through your body, scooping up all negativity, toxins, blocks. Blow it out through your mouth. Good job. Imagine just that waterfall of light pulling through the top of your head. Inhale through your nose to the count of 4. Hold it. Let the light move through your body, rolling, scooping up negativity, toxins. Blow out to the count of 4 through your mouth. Bye, Sincerius. Much love. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. Again. Hold it. Blow out to the count of 4. Okay. What I want you to do, rub your hands together. Keep doing the conscious breathing. Be mindful. Okay, I want to just let you play with the energy for a moment. Okay, move your hands apart. Okay, breathe. Move your hands slowly up and down. Focus on the energy in between your hands. Be mindful. What are you feeling?
So cool.
Between your hands. Keep breathing. Be mindful. Stop. Breathe. Like I showed you. Light pouring in through the top of your head. Okay, hands sliding left to right. Be mindful of the energy between. Pay attention to what you feel between your hands as they pass one another. Once more, be mindful. Open your fingers. Imagine you have yarn between your fingers now. Breathe. Be mindful. Slowly pull your hands apart. Slowly. 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 Be mindful. Look at the energy between your hands. Move your hands up and down slowly. Be mindful of what you feel between your hands. Pull them further. Breathe. Slowly Let the hands push in together. Be mindful of what you feel between your hands. It should feel like there is something that you're pushing. Go in a circle. Be mindful of what you feel. Okay, now open your hands. Breathe. Feel the light moving through the top of your head. Breathe down through your body, down to your feet. The light's going through your feet, down through the earth, back up through the earth. Breathe. Back up through the earth, to your shoulders, through your arms, to your hands. Okay, now put your hands beside your face. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. Breathe. As you blow out, be mindful of what you feel coming out of your hands. And what you would do with this, if there would now put it on over your arm. If you had a pain, you would chase that pain. Okay? Now I can feel energy. I'm more practiced at this. You have to practice this. Okay? You have to be mindful. You have to practice this. You have to be intentional. And it does take practice. But if you have a pain, if someone has a pain, if your dog has a pain, you have to chase it. Meaning the pain might move down a limb. Okay? So you keep moving down the limb with that pain. And you keep doing the breath work. And you keep being mindful and chasing the pain till it moves out of the body. You understand what I'm saying? You can do this work, and actually, if you become good at it, a spine can be straightened with quantum healing.
Yeah.
It might take once or twice.
Dana, I have a question as a
Yeah.
beginner question. The steps you bring us through,
Yeah.
is there, like, do you do all of the steps when you're doing it yourself in your head? Do you do, like, envision the string between your fingers? Like, do you do all the steps?
No, this is me trying to
Teach
take
us?
take you through basic things to get the feel, just to begin the feel of energy, maybe.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
someone that may not be used to it, and you might not feel it this time, you might get better at it and feel it next time.
Yeah.
This is me taking baby steps with you. I don't do all of this when I'm doing quantum healing.
Yeah.
When I'm doing quantum healing, because I'm used to just naturally doing it now, I do the breath work. I do the visualization with the light. I run the light through my body, down into the earth and back up. And then I feel the energy in my hands, and I go to the place of the injury or the pain on the person's body. And then I start, running it through the person's body. When Marcy was on here and I did it at a distance,
Yeah.
I did the breath work and visualized the light and did my hands and put them out at her so I could visualize the pain inside of her mouth. I went into her, I visualized inside of her mouth, I visualized the tooth, I visualized where the pain was so I could focus on centering at that pain.
Wow. And you've done it for me. You've done it for me. I remember one time we were, like, all in a group chat with someone. Well, Shan had a migraine. and a couple of us caught the migraine literally because we're empaths, and you like did some remote healing, and all of a sudden we were all migraine free. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
How did you do that? That's the first time I was like, whoa, Dana. Because it was bad. It was a bad headache. And then it was gone.
It takes work, and intention is huge. My intention is love. And the more I care about somebody, the better the intention is. And the stronger the healing is. When you love and care about somebody, the stronger the healing is.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's beautiful. It really is.
And it's my belief, but it's just my belief, okay? If I don't use things that I've learned or have or been given gifts for greater good or for love or care or for pure intention, I'll no longer have them.
Yeah. You're not going to get any more, and you're definitely not going to have what you've been given because you haven't proven that you're grateful for
Right.
that. Because it is a gift.
So that's the way I always treat it, with respect and grace, right?
Yeah. Grit and grace. Grit and grace.
Queen Bee says, have you heard of, let me pull it up because I'm blind as a bat. Have you heard of Nader Bhutto? I saw him in Italy who performed similar work, but I felt sparks from his hands to me. I have not heard that of him, but Noah's teacher and a couple of others have said that they have felt sparks from me, which is interesting that you said that because I never understood it. But yeah, I'll have to look that person up, actually. But yeah, people have said that to me. So I'll have to look him up. I guess it's a him. Yeah, when you're dreaming, Selena, you're having predictive dreams. So that means that that's your area of gift. You're having predictive dreams. So that is your gift. Do your dreams predict other people or just for you or family? How do yours work, Selena?
Gina
Yeah.
said she dreams about fun things. I wish I always dreamed about fun things.
I have dreams sometimes that are like mini movies, but they
Yeah.
haven't happened. But I know I'm supposed to be getting an answer from it.
Yeah.
And mine are in color, which is odd.
I mean, and sometimes it is possible with passed away loved ones that you're having a visitation. If you wake up and it felt like you just talked to them, you did. I've
Yeah.
learned that.
Yeah. If you see them, they're in 3D and you're having conversations with them, and it's like a little mini movie, that is a visitation period.
Yep. I mean, not always. One time I mean, not always, like, it was a situation, for example, where I had a dream about someone who had passed away, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. And it was just that person was actually symbolizing something for me, like fear. But it wasn't a situation of a visitation. It's a feeling you will know.
Yeah. I mean, if it's
a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good one. If it's bringing you fear, no.
Yeah. No, it's a good feeling. If it's bringing you fear, it's not actually that person. Don't think that they're like, it's usually something that you have in you, not something they're angry at you for, something you might be fearful that they're angry at you for, or something like that.
Gina, you're lucky if your dreams are always good memories. Sometimes people have nightmares. Any suggestions for insomniacs? Melatonin is good.
I went to the naturopath for that this week. What did they give me? Let me see. I think that's what I've got. Magnesium? No, not magnesium. I don't know, but I have insomnia. I feel like that's something that people that are spiritual kind of suffer with sometimes.
Melatonin's helpful. Magnesium mixed with something else, but magnesium can be helpful.
Yeah.
Also, not looking at your computer or an hour or so before you go to sleep, or your
Yeah.
phone,
Yeah.
or your television for that matter. Sleeping in a very cool room, wearing socks, like little light socks at night, keeping,
Really?
keeping your room cool and dark.
Do you know I sleep under the blankets? Apparently this is not normal. I have to have a blanket over my head. That's just how I sleep. Like in a little in my cocoon, Dana.
Ooh, I can't sleep with it over my head
I
now.
know.
Mm-mm.
Everybody's like, "How do you breathe?" I don't know. How do you know? I need it. Security blanket.
But I mean, I've got where I sleep with the room 65, 67 now.
Yeah, that's cold.
But if you sleep like that and put little socks on,
Socks on and
it's very helpful.
cozy.
I can't talk. Very helpful to sleep with the room cool and darker. And I have one of those salt lamps.
Oh, okay.
Blankets are breathable. Yeah. Weighted blankets, I have heard help.
My mom uses a weighted blanket. She just started this year and she swears by it. Like she loves to tell me how amazing this blanket is.
Gina, your dad did know your son's name. Your dad met your son before your son was born.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Gina Maxey.
I was like, what? Let me see this. Where's the chat? My dad passed away before my. Of course.
Your dad
Aww.
your dad had time with your son before you did. Just so you
Yep.
know.
That's
He
how I picture Billy was with my dad in heaven before I got Billy, my son. I feel like they.
Whoa. Selena, you do have predictive dreams. That is your gift, girl.
Oh dear. Yeah.
See, people have different gifts in different ways.
Yeah. Pay attention. Because those are telling. Wow.
Gina Maxey, 100%, 100%. Your dad spent time with your baby before you ever got to. I'm very sorry about your uncle passing away. Wow.
Oh, Dana. Oh, sorry. What's in the chat? What am I missing?
Gina said they're both boat captains.
Oh, cool.
Your son and your dad, Gina, is that what you mean? That would make sense.
No way. Wait. She's saying,
They're both boat captains.
yeah.
That's how it rolls.
Wow.
That has a lot to do with why. So don't worry. Your son may not remember, not consciously remember, but he spent time with your dad before he got here.
That's a fact.
Yeah. What were you going to ask me, Jenny?
I was gonna say, did you want to do a reading? Did Pete want to talk to you? Hello.
He wasn't. We could do that later. He wasn't kind of coming up this moment.
He's like bashful. He's like, no. He's like, carry on, carry on. He's so funny.
Not so weird. Not so weird, Willow. Mm-mm. And Willow, this is what you're going to find out. The more how do I put it? The more confident you get in your path moving forward, the less emotional, the stronger you feel, the more intuitive you're going to become. And that seems
Yep.
to be a little bit what's happening here.
Yeah, definitely. And this his soul may have came to you at the time too. But I
because
think
you feel stronger and less emotional than you have in the weeks past. That's what I'm feeling from your spirit. Shelly Marie says, my phone is acting up, can't get my messages through, and getting behind on conversations. I'm hating that for you.
a
I'm glad that
blobby.
you're here. A blobby. When Vintage talks to Miss and talking Willow out on a date.
When is she taking her out?
When is she taking her out on a date? Oh, a blobby is getting stuff stirred up in here. Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
No, it's a dating. It's a dating show.
And I think Vintage is in Jersey and Willow's in Texas, so you know what I mean. Somebody's going
Distance is Dana. Distance is relative. You just said this.
Hey, baby, I can fly without my body, so.
That's what I'm saying.
Finish this why? I don't know. Wink, Willow, wink, wink. A blobby, you just matchmaking all over the place, girl. So, bring it to me. Who's got a question? Who wants to know something? But listen, quantum healing is so easy. It's so easy. You can do it around your plant. Look, I got those roses, a week ago? They look brand new. I can run and bring them to you. You would not believe how they look. You want to know why?
Because you did healing?
Let me get Eden to bring them in here.
Okay, because I have killed every plant I've ever owned, ever. And if I can do an experiment and I can keep a plant alive with healing, then you know it's real. Because I'm telling you, I don't have a green thumb. I will kill it. If you put it in my house, it will die.
Wait till you see these roses. They should be puny looking, okay? They should be having. I don't want to give.
You're not even Catholic.
I don't want to give. Look what I got, though, girl. Look what I got. I got everything.
Do you?
Yes. I am no religion in every religion.
I am too. Amen.
I am none in all.
That's right.
Wait till y'all see them. Because I give all my plants and flowers energy.
Oh, be my Valentine, Dana. My goodness. All right. Those are my favorite. I'll take them.
But I just wanted to prove to you.
They're beautiful.
That you can put energy in your plants and cut roses and everything. And now look, I haven't put water in them. Now look at the water. The water's halfway down now, see? That's how old it is. And they look good.
Oh, wow. I want them. I love them.
So I'm saying you can put the energy in things like that. My roses will last 2 weeks.
My roses last as long as my fingernail polish, like a day.
So I do it to my plants. I do it to cut flowers. I do it to everything.
Oh, I'm going to do it to my fingernail polish. No, I'm kidding. I want to do that with flower. I'm going to make a project of it. An experiment.
Oh, Sincerius, my heart. Thank you. He is so precious. I cannot believe I was nervous about coming on here saying I'm going to open up and offer people to ask questions or whatever. Nobody is hardly asking me anything.
Because we all know each other and it's like private.
Cooking getting interrupted by everybody in the house. Wanted to hop on and say hi. Hey, Dana. Everybody so jealous, missing out. Love you too. Nobody's asking me a lightning psychic question. Nobody's wanting healing. Nobody. I mean, it was like, I was nervous because I was going to put it out there. Thought it might cause problems. Nobody's doing it.
We need new people because we're all healed. You've healed us, Dana.
Oh, come on now.
Healing's a lifelong process.
Okay, Willie, throw it at me.
Oh, she's got a question. Yeah.
Oh, my favorite healing moment. Um,
That's a cute question.
my favorite healing moment was one of the times a few years ago when the doctor told me Noah had 10% lung capacity, and I asked them to flip him over on his stomach, and they did, but they told me we were going to lose him. And the nurse and when I knew when they flipped him over on his stomach, I could do healing on him without the nurses and doctors knowing. Sometimes you need a Western medicine assist. So they flipped him over. He was on life support.
Wow.
They flipped him over, and I did healing work on him all night long. And the nurse walked in on me, and she was open to what I was doing. And she did a little cupping on his back where he had some, congestion. Now, mind you, he was on 100% life support.
Wow.
And the doctor told us that we were going to lose him then. Now, I know I ultimately lost him, but this was before they told us a few times, right? So, anyway, I did this, and during the night, he went from 100% to off of life support by the next morning on my life, off of life support and home 2 days later.
Wow.
The doctor walked in the next morning and he said, "Whoa, I fully expected to come in here and see him deceased."
Wow.
So that was my one of my favorite healing moments, honestly. I don't take the credit. I do not take the credit. I am a conduit. Let me be clear.
Because
And
you're open to it.
I needed an assist this time
Yeah.
because had he not been on life support, I wouldn't have had the time the time. How do I put it? The moment in time to do it. The rescue moment to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, it gave us extra years with him.
Is Noah here? I feel like he is.
Uh,
Aw. There's a question from
okay,
Anna.
Willow. Who has the question?
Anna had a question. She said before she goes for the RTT training or the copywriting, work at home online jobs. Should I go for that one or the copywriting? RTT training.
Who's asking?
It was Anna Guerra.
Hold on.
That was beautiful, Dana. You're so woman. Aww.
I feel like RTT, but I don't know what it is. What is RTT, Anaguera?
RTT?
Yeah, what is that?
Work at home online jobs.
No,
Both
what
of
is
them, I think.
RTT?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it.
I feel like RTT. I feel like RTT training. Love you so much, Anna Guerra, too, but I feel like I like the RTG training, but I don't know what it is.
I was gonna Google it, but then I lose you.
I know you don't like the term demon, but what if you feel like something took over your sense of well being? Vintage, when you feel that dark taking over your well being, that's a deep, deep sense of depression that you're having trouble fighting off. You get what I'm saying? When it feels like you're drowning in it and it's dark and it's taking over, that's like a deep sense of depression that you need treatment for. And maybe any treatment you have been having is not working. If you are not creating harm, then I would not say it is a demon. We all have our inner demons, but sometimes I feel like you want to call it that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that darkness is something you want to call it. A mental blast. Do you feel like you had a mental blast in these areas? Jenny muted her thing so we wouldn't have static. Scroll up for your question. How can I get good energy for tomorrow? Do I need mediated or meditated? I will send you good energy for tomorrow. Are you asking me, paranormal, do you need to meditate or mediate? Meditation will greatly help you, for one, and I will send you good energy and surround you with it. And we all can send you good energy for that matter, Willow, paranormal witch.
I'm
For
sending
tomorrow.
good energy. Yeah. How
But
can she put herself in that mindset?
what we did earlier,
Yeah, that's
do,
good.
do, do the conscious breathing.
Yeah.
Imagine that beautiful light just flooding through the top of her head like waterfall and filling her body and going into a meditation and a prayerful moment and realizing we're all sending it to her too.
Do you know that you changed deep breathing for me? I used to think it was just kind of pointless and it was just like to clear your mind. But then you said something once on one of your shows about how like it actually changes like the carbon, like it actually is doing like scientifically, like, you know, releasing the bad. And now I'm always thinking about that process when I'm doing it. And now for me, that was like when I say you bring the scientific facts, I like, I like that. That really helps me. I
Thank
think
you,
that helps
Jenny.
a lot of people.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it releases carbon dioxide from our body, brings in the oxygenation that we need. It helps release toxins out
It's
of our
not just to
system.
like freeze time. It's like actually doing something.
It lowers your blood pressure.
Oh, it
It,
does.
it helps lower the cortisol in your body,
Yeah.
the stress hormones. Um, I carry. Oh, we need to work on Shelly. But let me see what Gina said real quick. My mom had a heart attack and way home from hospital. I said, Mom, Dad is waiting. She was 89. She squeezed my hand and said, We will see up there and past. It was beautiful. Oh my goodness, it sounds so beautiful. Yes. Hello, Pamela
I feel
Bourgeois.
like
What?
no, I was gonna say I feel like Gina has a lot of loving souls around her.
She does. Shelly Marie, I carry stress on my neck, back, and shoulders. I feel I carry a lot of negativity. You carry a lot of stress of other people, Shelly Marie, along with you carry a lot of tension and negativity of what's going on around you. You don't know how to release it from people. You may be somewhat empathic, or not, maybe a lot of empathic, kind
Yeah.
of like a sponge picking up emotions around you. And instead of knowing how to allow it to move through you instead of you, that's a problem with a lot of people that are empathic that feel the emotions of other people. They tend to absorb the emotions and not realize that's really not the job. You need to shield yourself. And when I say that, you can imagine that you're shielding yourself with a cocoon of white light, and do it every day when you get up to leave the house.
Every day. That's what I'm finding.
When you get up and you do a little breath work, when you're brushing your teeth, even if you're on the toilet, people say they don't have time. Yes, you do. You have to breathe anyway. Do a little breath work and close your eyes for a minute. I would do it in the car before I drive, and imagine myself surrounded with a cocoon of white light, ask for angelic protection or whatever, and realize that you can feel the emotions of other people without taking them on,
Yeah.
because you don't have to take on their emotions like a sponge. You can feel them, and imagine that the shield is kind of letting them bounce off. Just like when we do quantum healing, you let the energy move through you, not of you. When you let it move of you, it's like you're taking pieces and parts of you. You're not helpful to anybody like that.
Now, when you say let it move through you, you mean like what we did with the white light, like down through the ground, up through the
Yeah.
roof?
When
Okay.
before, when I would do healing, it would take a lot out of me. That's before I was diagnosed with MS. I didn't know, but because I was trying to push the energy from myself instead of letting the energy come from the massive creator of the universe, everything, right? Letting all that energy, because the world is energy. We're energy, like I said, we're atoms and neutrons and everything. Instead of allowing the energy to move through me, down through the earth, back up, and just being a conduit.
Yeah.
So much more energy and attached to the loving energy, right? Um, you're limited when you let it move from you. So, just like when you feel other people's emotions and stress, if you can recognize that you can still feel it and allow it to kind of bounce off because you're shielding yourself, then you're not letting it take on space, take up space in your body so much. But that being said, too, you also need to utilize self care. And women are the worst. That's why I hang upside down on my couch.
My baddie friend.
If you slide your butt
Slide
to,
your butt.
to the back of the couch, and I'll slide my butt back there, and I'll put my legs straight up, and sometimes I'll, put them in a ballet pirouette or whatever, and then I lean my head to the floor and spread my arms out, and then I slide down as far as I can without losing my control. It just elongates the spine and takes a lot of the stress out of the spine, the head, the neck, the everything.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Or, do a little yoga, or just do basic stretching. Go to your kitchen counter and, step back as far as you can and stretch your back. You have to do little things all the time to do self care.
I love self care. I have self care cards. I pull one a day and I do whatever it says to do. Like have a bubble bath or, go for a walk in nature. And I follow it because if I don't, and I schedule time for it, because if I don't, nobody takes care of Jenny.
No. Shelly, are you still in the car? If she wasn't still in the car, I would bring her up to do some healing work.
Yeah.
You have to do whatever you have to do self care and work out the kinks and stuff. I mean, I have little tools that I'll dig into my muscles. I'll dig into my face, forehead. You ought to see the things I do to myself. It looks crazy. Are you are you in the car? Or are you at home, Shelly? Oh, see, Pam says she hangs upside down too. Sliding my butt. See, Zizarius thinks I'm funny. He's from the UK, and I've got what Adam calls that thick Southern accent.
I think they say bum.
I wish I had a UK
Bum.
accent.
I
Bum diddy
know.
bum bum. I would love to talk like I'm from the UK. I can't even do it right now. Or
You
from,
sound like such a southern
yeah.
UK person.
Other ways to get your
You
back
sounded
stretched.
more southern doing that than you normally sound.
Good afternoon. Would you like a cup of tea?
Cup
Probably
of
sound
tea.
cup of tea.
But they've got all different, like if you go 5 miles down the road, or kilometers, because they use kilometers like we do in Canada, they have like a different accent. So you never know.
It's the same way in Georgia.
Yeah, that's true.
There are different variants of the Southern accent. Look at
Yes.
Angela Deem on 90 Day
Yes.
Fiancé. Do I talk like her?
Where is she from in Georgia? Is she from Atlanta?
She's somewhere, a couple
Somewhere
of hours.
south.
I mean, I could probably drive to her house in a day.
Kim
But
definitely has a southern accent.
I mean, she has a Southern accent, but ours don't sound alike, I don't think.
Not at all.
Okay, you're home, Shelly Marie. Can you come up? Is it possible that you come up? You don't have to show your face. It would be nice if you could. Yeah, Shelly Marie, that's excellent. You know, I would love for to do. It would be great if everyone in this chat that is in any physical pain tonight could come up now. That's what I would like. Anybody that's in this chat that is in any physical pain, if you could come up now.
Come on, come on.
Anaguera, if you're in pain, if Pam is in pain, if Shelly's in pain, if all of you were in pain, then if you all came up, because a multitude of people, I've worked all day not wanting. You don't have to be on camera, Shelly, but the multitude of people, it amps the energy up, and it can help reduce or take the pain away. Up to you. It just helps my focus. Anyway, it's out there. If you want it, I'm offering. I'm not going to force you to take it. But be that as it may, you can try to do some. Oh, I hear the kitty. Some of the quantum
That's
healing.
Rambo.
And I can try to put it out there without seeing you and see how it goes. Good, Zen. I was hoping not. Okay. I'll drop the link. I just want to see whatever I can try to do to help. I can't promise anything, but we can try. Let's see what we can do. But I used to love it because I didn't know when I was first trying to practice it. Eden was little, 2 years old, come up. Mama, I got boo-boo. Put magic on it. Mama, I got boo-boo. Put magic on it. She didn't know what it was. I have broke wrists with one.
Because
What?
kids are so much smarter than we are. I never knew that till I had a kid, and he's like 16 months old, and he knows more than me, I swear. It's like I forgot.
Bring it up, Shelly Marie. Hello, Shelly Marie.
Hello, Shelly Marie.
Hello.
What now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I think this is the first time I ever called into anybody.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you.
Sure.
Did Pam, did you want to come up? I hate that you can't come up, Gina, but I will just try to do what I can. Just pretend like you're here anyway. And where are you hurting now? Are you still currently hurting neck, shoulder, spine? Shelly?
Daily, but I mean, I'm not feeling it as I normally do, but it's just a daily thing.
And it's just from the work, or were you diagnosed specifically with anything?
No, well, I've been in 3 car accidents, hit from behind, and had whiplash 3 times. But it's my life. I just rest knots in my shoulders, my neck. It's just tight, you know. I on everybody's feelings. I read the room, and I'm added stress because nobody believes me either. So that just really, intensifies the stress and the knots. And I'm a home health care worker, and so I take on that stress too.
Right. Did you hear me earlier when I was talking about try to shield yourself?
Yes, I was answering. I was saying I'm trying. I'm new at it, and I'm trying, but I'm so frustrated with life and work right now. I'm middle aged, going through the change of life. So yeah, and then I get frustrated, and I don't think it's working. But some days I think, oh, this is wonderful, it's really working, and other days I'm like, this is not working.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's a practice.
Yeah,
and you have to be mindful of doing it, and like anything, you have to be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's one thing I'm not. That's one thing I'm not, is consistent.
And if you make a practice like, I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm going to remind myself when I brush, put a post-it note on your mirror, and while you're brushing your teeth, say, okay, in my head, I'm going to brush my teeth, and then I'm going to do this breathing, and I'm going to surround myself with, say a little prayer, and I'm going to surround myself with a cocoon of white light. And just visualize it. Visualize it in your head.
Okay, question for you. I typed this in earlier. I'm Sun and Rising Sagittarius. Very optimistic, what's the word I want? Procrastinator. But I'm also Moon Virgo, and I battle, because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. So it's a battle constantly, I feel.
I don't know a lot about, oddly enough. I never delved heavily into astrology because I naturally had all the other stuff going on.
Right.
But I would just like put a post-it note up, or just write it on your mirror. Someplace that you have to see on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps me. But
that's a great idea.
I used to be like, I mean, back years ago, I used to be like, I'm not going to meditate. I'm not going to do that. But what finally, kicked in was, like I said, my son was handicapped, and he was my greatest teacher, because out of necessity, things that I knew I could do that I was trying to stuff back, out of necessity, I had to do. Like, he couldn't, because his throat was affected. He couldn't speak. So it was like I was connecting medically with him, things going awry inside of his body. I could pick up on just out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Certain gifts were starting to open back up if that makes sense.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
so I went back into the meditation. And what helped me was when I was being stubborn about it, I would find some on YouTube and put a thing in my ears and lay down at night and listen to it and fall asleep. And it didn't matter
Yeah,
if I fell asleep
about a
because your
month now.
brain. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, for about a month now, I have been doing that. I think it's just battle I need. I might skip a day just due to life and jobs I have, and then I get back into it, and
Your
so
brain
it's just
unconsciously
ongoing battle.
will hear it. And like I said, I recommend Martine Salerno.
Okay.
Some of them that work at the higher megahertz are helpful, especially when you're trying to go into a spiritual place.
What did you
Mm-hmm.
recommend, Dana? I'm writing this down.
Martine
Yeah.
Salerno. I'm bringing Steve up. I hear he's a pretty spiritual person too. Hey, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
It's a
Your
pleasure
mic
to meet you.
works.
I've been able to work out how to get it to actually work, believe it or
Yes.
not.
Yes, it works good.
That Aussie accent gets me every time.
I'm sorry.
No, in a good way. I love Aussie.
Dana, try and imitate the Aussie accent. Let's hear it.
I'd
Go
have to
ahead.
hear it for a little bit.
Okay, do it in 10
Yeah,
minutes.
because it depends on which part of the country you're in. Some of the words that we say here in Western Australia, we sit there and scratch our heads from someone from Queensland going, "What did you just say?"
What did you say? Good day, mate.
There.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Good day, mate. But let's give it a go real quick, Shelly. But like I said, just try to baby step it into, just look at it as self-care, like a necessity.
Right. Right.
You don't want to break down and fall apart at this point because it sounds like you've hit your wall.
Yeah, I'm getting there. But I've been doing that for years, and then I bounce back, and then.
I know, but in my gut and in my body, because right below your neck, where the neck where the neck meets your shoulders, that bone right there
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
feels
I
bad
feel
to
that.
me.
That's exactly where it's throbbing. Yeah. You feel
So
that.
yeah,
Wow.
so you're getting to the
Yep. That's
point
it.
where you're not going to bounce as quickly after a while.
Not at this age.
Like I said, basically things opened up. My son was my greatest teacher, and out of necessity, he turned me into a medical medium in some ways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But let's try to see, and anyone in the chat that wants to throw their energy in, let's try to see if we can bring a little respite because I can feel it in my body, respite from pain to Shelly. I'm going to do some breath work. Shelly, I just ask that you sit here and do some of the breath work I did with everyone earlier, and just close your eyes for a minute. Be open to it. Open your hands. Open your
Okay.
hands to the screen. Okay.
Okay.
As I'm about to do this, and just for a couple of minutes, do the breath work and be open. As I try to send some healing your way, just be open. And here we go. Okay.
Ready.
Okay. I can feel Steve kicking in. Did he? Do the conscious breathing. Stay open. Let energy move through you. Okay, 3 more good conscious breaths. Bring all the light you can in. Hold. Breathe out the toxins. Breathe in all the light. Let it move through your body, down to the ground. Breathe out the toxins through your mouth. Again, breathe in all of the light like a flood of light moving through your body, down to the ground. Hold it. Breathing out all of the toxins. And just slowly open up your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How are you feeling, Shelly?
Felt good. I felt it a little in my hands, but I think it was hot while I was holding my hands, but
Yeah,
my neck feels really good.
good.
Yes.
What was your
Thank
pain
you,
level?
dear Dana.
What was your pain level? In all honesty, your pain level when you came in, 1 to 10,
Maybe a 6,
and what is it now?
a 0, maybe a 1.
Wow.
Listen, I want
Wow.
you to drink a lot of water because you
I
need to
do
flex.
about 90 ounces a day,
Okay,
if
good.
not more.
And you'll probably have some even more residual healing over the next 24 hours. Listen, I feel and I don't even know if Steve or Jenny picked up the same thing. Uh, down below, there's a place down below her neck, and then down below that, a couple of layers down the spine.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what I saw, Steve?
Yeah.
Between my shoulder blades?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
it was like a place in the spine,
Oh,
which was causing the tension
Where all the
between.
stress gets held.
What?
It's where all the stress gets held.
Yeah, and it felt
yes.
like it was at the
When I'm
spine
stressed,
causing muscles.
yes. When I'm stressed out, I feel it there. I feel like somebody reaching in, grabbing the muscles or my spine and just
And you're not carrying your weight evenly when you walk, and there's a lot of stress on your right knee.
left knee is
Oh,
I have pain.
so you're using your right knee too much.
Probably, yeah.
So anyway, I hope that this continues. And I'm going to be honest. At one point in this meditation, I went further and tried to spread out because I was gathering and feeling a lot more healing light, and I think it was from the boost I was getting from Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
That I was
right.
trying to spread it over to also Zazarias, the additional light, and anybody else that might have needed it. So hopefully other people benefited as well.
Thank you all.
One
Much
thing
love.
that you one thing you can do as well when it comes to having that pain between your shoulder blades is go to like a door frame and open up the door and actually stand with your two arms on each side of the door frame and actually hold it by your wrists and actually lean yourself backwards, and that'll actually help to stretch out between your shoulder blades, and that works quite well for people.
Thank you.
I hope
Do
you have
anything I can. Pinch sciatica nerve on my right side. Maybe that's what you were feeling.
Yeah. But I hope your relief continues.
Did you
I'm
hear
so
that?
glad that you came here tonight.
Thank you. I am too. I appreciate you.
Oh, you too, Shelly Marie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and drop you down. Love and light to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the internet's being wacko tonight.
It just started getting crackly.
Maybe it's all the extra energy.
I think so. Honestly.
It may be. But anyway, it is. I'm going to ask if anybody has any additional questions, they need help, they want to know anything as I begin to wrap up. Anybody? This has been a very calm, chill night.
Yeah.
Not at all like I expected it might be.
You're like, insanity.
Yeah, because it's the first time I was actually going to off for a reading and nobody jumped all over it. So I was like, okay, well, okay. I don't particularly like that word either. So, but she has said lovely things about you, Steve. I'm
Yeah,
glad
I did.
to meet you.
Yeah, thanks.
Australia is on my bucket list of places to go one day. That and
Yeah,
I want to go to Ireland
Me too.
and
Dana,
UK.
out of nowhere one day you're like, let's go to Scotland. And I'm like, was she reading my mind again?
Yes,
Were
yes,
you?
not intentionally.
Well, you did. There's an island in Scotland. It's like, I forget what it's called, but it's like the veil is like really lowered there. But apparently, like tourists are showing up. Either way, I'm going to be one of those tourists.
Me and you, Jenny. Me and you.
Yeah.
Well, you go get some rest in these areas. I hope that you continue to have relief. You will be walking. Please keep me updated. I'll be back here Saturday night. Let me know, Zinzarius, or send me a note. I guess that I need to go ahead and call this a day, call this a night.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Go have my salad. It has been a divine pleasure, Steve. Thank you for your assist
Yeah.
on this. I could definitely, when I was going in on this, I could feel the extra energy. I could.
That's so cool.
So it's a confirmation.
bit of a worry.
What now?
So, it's a bit of a worry.
Why?
Oh, because you always sit there and you think to yourself, these are the things that you get taught as you're going, from when you leave your teenage years and you're working out who you are as you're growing up, that you leave all this sort of stuff behind because it's not the norm.
No, it's not the
Going
norm.
back to your conversation earlier on about the whole stigma. That's very much what I experienced, obviously, in my teens and my 20s, and you just put feelings and that intuition beside you, and you just go, it's time just to be the bloke, and you're meant to put it all behind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was very very interesting.
Until you figure out it can help people, or like with my son, it was out of necessity that I figured out I had to use things. I didn't have a choice,
Yeah.
Then it made sense why I had a lot of what I had. All of a sudden, it was like, okay, I needed to pull these tools out of the toolbox. So, yeah. And then you question: is this really real? Am I really doing this? Is this really happening? And then you get all the confirmation, and then you're scared to death.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like, what? What's going on?
But I stayed quiet about a lot of stuff, even to Jenny for a long time. I didn't tell her everything.
Nope.
I still probably haven't told her everything because I'm protective, I guess.
Yep, you are.
And it's easier to stay in the closet in a different way.
You opened up the closet. You opened up Pandora's box.
Yeah, I think I shocked some of my viewers too because they were like, what? Aw. Miriam said I healed her cat this week with positive thoughts. But anyway,
really?
I love you all so very much. I appreciate you greatly. I'm here to teach, to assist, to laugh. We need some laughter soon.
Yeah.
We need to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Have some fun. But I hope that you got something out of tonight. I really hope I didn't bore you.
No.
Anna said, so glad I stayed on. Made it a priority. Thank you so much, Dana, for sharing your gifts and radiating the love and light. Blessings and good night to everyone. Yes, good night to everyone. At least you brought me peace before going to the bed. Oh, thank you, Miriam. Vintage is calling me a cat. She's so funny. She makes me laugh. What was that? And and order steps. I adore her. Last week, I put a list of all the loving good YouTubers. Please go check it out and go check them out.
Dana,
What?
you have 250 subscribers.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Ahead to go.
you did it. I had to check.
I love you all.
Steve. I bet it was Steve. Was it you, Steve?
Yes, Steve. Tell some of your Aussie friends about me.
Yes.
I do more than just this.
Yeah.
She's not a one-trick
I
pony.
actually already have.
Do what now?
I've already sent a message to a few of my friends while I was working before to let them know that you're on.
Oh,
So.
thank you so much.
Yay!
But anyway, I'll see you guys Saturday night, 8:15. I don't know what the topic will be. We'll figure that out later.
We'll figure it out at 7:15.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, take it easy, like and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. And here we go.